US President Donald Trump has suggested that major political change could soon come to Cuba, even raising the possibility of what he called a friendly takeover. Speaking at a summit with Latin American leaders in Florida, Trump said the communist-run island is in deep economic and humanitarian trouble and may soon be forced to negotiate with Washington. Listen in.
As we achieve a historic transformation in Venezuela, we're also looking forward to the great change that will soon be coming to Cuba. Cuba's at the end of the line. They're very much at the end of the line. They have no money, they have no oil, they have a bad philosophy, they have a bad regime that's been bad for a long time.
Trump has repeatedly claimed that Cuba's leadership is under severe pressure following the capture of Nicolas Maduro during a U.S. operation in Venezuela earlier this year. According to the U.S. president, the fall of Venezuela's government has cut off crucial financial support that had helped sustain Cuba's struggling economy. He made the remarks at the Shield of the Americas summit hosted at Trump National Doral Miami Golf Resort. Leaders from several Latin American countries attended the gathering, focused on regional security and combating drug cartels. At a later news conference in Doral, Trump said the situation in Cuba is being handled by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Top U.S. officials have long advocated regime change in Cuba. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the son of Cuban immigrants and a longtime critic of Havana's leadership, is reportedly leading contacts with Cuban representatives.
Well, Marco Rubio is doing a great job. I think he's going to go down as the greatest Secretary of State in history. Look at what we've done as a presidency. Look at what we've done as an administration. They trust Marco, and so do the American people trust. He's been successful no matter where he's been. He also speaks the language, which is always nice and always helpful. But he's dealing, and it may be a friendly takeover. It may not be a friendly takeover.
These are countries that have been there for us, and these are leaders that are not just allies, they are friends. And they are always willing to work and cooperate with the United States, and we're grateful to them.
U.S. media reports suggest informal discussions may involve Raul Rodriguez Castro, the grandson of former Cuban leader Raul Castro. However, the Cuban government has not confirmed any high-level negotiations with Washington. At the same time, Washington has begun cautiously linking the Cuban and U.S. economies. Last month, the administration allowed American fuel supplies to reach Cuba's private sector despite the decades-old U.S. embargo on the island. Meanwhile, the U.S. Justice Department is reportedly preparing new legal measures against Cuban officials, similar to the strategy previously used against Venezuela's Maduro, as Washington and its regional allies increase pressure on Havana's communist government. On the other hand, the United Nations is in talks with Washington over easing a crippling oil blockade on Cuba to allow in fuel for humanitarian purposes. The discussions also cover the fuel needs of Cuban NGOs that work with the United Nations and state-run health centers, providing aid for the elderly, pregnant women, and other vulnerable groups.